Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampinUp.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. As I promised in my blog post yesterday where I featured a product spotlight using the beautiful Promenade bundle, I am going to case a card from the catalog. I found this card absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you exactly how to make this. Let's get started. I always like to bring in my cardstock layers first. We've got Poppy Parade, and this is 5.5, whoops, hang on, we're throwing things here. 5.5 by 8.5, and I've just folded it in half. Then I've got a piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5.25. This is for the inside of our card. I've got a scrap of Whisper White. And again, this is just a scrap. And then I've got a piece of watercolor paper that's 3.25 by 4.75. And a piece of Petal Pink that is 1.5 by 4.25. We're gonna do all of our stamping first, and then we'll get to the cool technique that's on this card, and I'll show you some details about the new edgelets. Those are exciting. All right, I am going to stamp my greeting. And the card in the catalog uses the Friendly Expressions greeting. You have seen me use this before. It's one of my favorites. I love these funky fonts together. And I've got my Poppy Parade ink pad. Before we stamp our greeting, we're going to use the triple banner punch, and we are going to punch out one end of our banner. And I see I've got some ink or something on the side, so we're going to flip over to the other side. Don't you love that it always has two sides to a piece of cardstock? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stamp my Thanks for All You Do greeting right here. Then I'm going to bring in my cleaning chamois and clean my stamp so that I can ink it up in some Old Olive. This is a neat way to get a lot of use out of your greetings by making them different colors. I'm just stamping the Old Olive on a scrap, and I'm going to clean this off again. Let me put this away, and we're going to put this away for right now. Then I'm going to bring in my paper snips. You could use your paper trimmer for this if you wanted to, and I'm just going to cut out these smaller words because we're going to do a little, they call this paper piecing, not piercing, paper piecing. So I'm just going to cut these off and add them to our Petal Pink layer. A little bit of glue. We're just going to cover up the Poppy Parade words with our Old Olive words, and this is just kind of a neat thing you can do to add interest to your card, in this case my greeting. And then I'm going to come in and punch the other end. Now you'll notice that from here to here there is more space, and that's because we're going to add some embellishments to our card front that I needed a little extra space over here. So if you're questioning why did she only punch that end out, that's why. So I could stamp closer to that end and we would have more space down here. And as long as we've got our stamps, I should have left my ink pad out here. And if I can find my stamp, here it is. We are going to just stamp the flower in Poppy Parade on that inside layer. I always like to do just a little something to my inside, card insides, just to, you know, the party shouldn't end when they open your card. That's the way I feel about it. We're going to put this right in there right away. And you could certainly do a flower that you color, or you could get it as extravagant as you want, but I just wanted to keep this one nice and simple. Now we're going to do some die cutting. And along with the Petal Promenade suite, I get to show you this beauty. And this is our Delicate Lace Edgelit dies. Holy cow. So when I first saw these, I thought, oh, I bet you these are going to be a pain to get all those little pieces out of the die. Not so. Very impressed. So I'm going to show you, here is the black one. Well, the black one. Here is the swirly images, and this is what it looks like. And isn't that just gorgeous? It's got a little stitch line that you can see through. I hope that's coming through on my camera. So that is that edge, and let's just put it up behind something. Look at how beautiful that is. Holy cow, right? And then we also have this one, and look at this. Is that not just gorgeous? So these two, well, all three of the dies, they do not cut off at the edge here. You're certainly welcome to put them in your paper trimmer and cut them off, but you can do this on the side or the bottom edge of your card. This would be also be beautiful for scrapbooking. We're going to use this one. So I am going to just run this through my Big Shot. I will be right back, and I'll show you how easy these come, all the little pieces come out of these dies, because I was really, really pleasantly surprised. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, this is coming straight out of my Big Shot, and this falls right off. Look at that. There's not a single bit left in there. So that really impressed me. But now we have to deal with this, right? And before you use this edgelit again, you're going to need to get all this paper out. So I just put it in my Big Shot die brush box. And did a little of that. And all these little bits come right out. Boom. Ready to go for the next one. That made me very, very happy, because when I have to putz around with intricate dies, I've said this a million times, I don't tend to use them as often as I would if they were super simple. Like these three are. Very happy. Love these. Here is our little edge, and I'm just going to snip this and snip this, because I just want a strip to put behind our watercolor layer. And then I was looking at this and I thought, oh my goodness, so what could I do with that edge? That would be cool, sticking out on the side of a card. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Abdominal Snowman, his teeth. I thought, oh, this would be cool for a monster card. So that's how those ideas get going in your head. It's like, oh, what can I make with that? Okay, next we're going to get to the watercolor part. So I would wipe this down with my embossing buddy, but I can't find it. I, for the life of me, don't know where that little bugger is. And you know, I just need to have two around, because I lose it a lot because I don't put my stuff away. So that's just my own personal problem. But so I did not wipe it, and it's summertime. We don't have a lot of static cling in the summer, so it's not as crucial as it is in the winter. Static cling makes our embossing powder stick to everything. So I am just inking up my stamp from the beautiful Promenade stamp set. You've seen me use this several times, and if you're new to me, you can go to my blog and you can do a search for Beautiful Promenade, and you'll find other projects that I've made with this. But I'm just going to ink up my flower, and remember, we're casing the catalog, so placement, I wanted to have this placed just about as close to the way it's done in the catalog as I could. So I'm going to stamp both flowers here, and as you can see, I didn't clean my stamp very good, so I've still got some Poppy Parade in it, which is not the end of the world. Don't get yourself bent out of shape over that if that happens to you. It's not a big deal. Then I'm going to bring in these leaves. Now, if you can't see where your flowers are on here, you can emboss your flowers first and then come back with the leaves. So, you know, that's always an option. All right, I'm using clear embossing powder. You could use clear embossing powder, or you could use white embossing powder, depending on what you have. Or if you don't have any, you're welcome to order some from me. You will find my blog address right here, and if you use that host code, there's special perks with your order from me. You'll find an online ordering button in the right-hand column on my blog. And I'm just generously putting the embossing powder on here so that it sticks to all of the images I just stamped. Then I like to give it a quick little poof of air, so I blow on it really fast, just to get off any sprinkles that may be left there that we don't want. Okay, I am going to heat set this and I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have this heat set, and you want to tilt it in the light so that you can make sure everything looks good and glossy. I don't know how well the pink left over from my Poppy Parade is going to do with this, but we'll see. I've got another card made up that I can show you if I would need to start over, so just hang tight. Now I'm going to bring in my BRUSHO crystal colors, and there are 5 different colors in here. I am using the Brilliant Red and the Moss Green for this card, and I like to sprinkle the red right on my flowers, and you'll notice that I'm using very little powder. There's not a lot of powder that you need for this technique. Then I'm coming in with the Moss Green, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on my leaf area. I think I just pushed my red off. Let's try that again. And I'm going to put a little bit of Moss Green. I've got one of our Stampin' spritzers here, and I'm just going to spray. I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper so I don't mess up my work surface here, just in case. Oh, look at how pretty that is. And this is going to do its thing. The colors are bursting. It's making gorgeous colors all over my card. Then I brought in my aqua painter, and I am just going to rub that around on my flowers. I want my flowers to kind of stick out as being red. I got a little bit more yellow over in here than I would have liked, so I'm just going to bring up some more red from the bottom flower. Isn't that pretty? Clean off your aqua painter. Oops, I've got some powders on this, so that's why it's taken a little longer to clean this off than it normally would. Usually doesn't take that long. And then you can let this dry. You can dab it with a tissue. You can hit it with your heat tool to make it dry a little faster. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna hit it with my heat tool. So the fact that my stamp still had some Poppy Parade on it really doesn't show up in here much. We've got the nice white embossed images of the flowers. Next, I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to add some glue to the edge of it, and I just want to see how long that needs to be. So I'm going to add a little glue right here, and then I'm going to bring this in and line it up with the edge of that stitching. This die is just so pretty. I really am I can't wait to make more things with this set of edgelets. Delicate lace edgelets, they're called. I actually had to run this morning and borrow this from one of my demonstrator friends, one of my downline, because I have it coming in my order that's coming on Saturday, and I needed this for my video to post on Friday. So I ran over to her house this morning to borrow it. And then I got my nails done, because I was by my nail salon. I thought, oh, my nails, I broke off 2 of them while we were on our little road trip. So yeah, it's been a pretty productive day so far. Okay, we are ready to put this on the front of our card, and again, I am just using liquid glue. I looked at the sample in the catalog and it looked like maybe they had used dimensionals, but we're using dimensionals on the front greeting layer, so I didn't want too many dimensionals on here. I think this will work perfect. And it's possible that I was completely wrong about the dimensionals too, because I like the way you don't need to glue this down. You've already glued it to the back of this layer, right? And then we're going to use dimensionals on this tag. I'm just going to put one right there. And then when you get ready to put the dimensionals on this end, put them over to the side a little bit. I'm going to put 2 of them on here because we have some embellishments we're going to tuck behind this tag before all is said and done. And I'm just going to lay this right in here like this. Isn't that pretty? And here come those embellishments. These are the tropical elements. And I'm just going to pour some of them out here. You've got these cute little flowers and then these little wood-looking leaves. Wood-looking flowers and wood-looking leaves. I really, really think these are cool, and this is going to make a nice little embellishment for the card, which is what they did in the catalog photo. So I'm taking mini glue dots on the little leaves, and I'm just going to tuck them right under our greeting layer, kind of at a slant. Then that flower, we're going to add some baker's twine to it, just like this, okay? Then we're going to add some baker's twine to this with a bow. Just going to feed that in there. What do you guys think of the green nails? Pretty kind of crazy, huh? I always like to get something different done when I get my nails done because, well, I could do boring and plain painted ones myself. But I always like to get some type of a little design or something that's just a little different, or, you know, depending on what the season is or the holiday. I always like to do something fun with my nails. I don't know. I think about when you paint your nails, it's not just so that they, you know, look decent. I want them to look spectacular. So I thought green, that's kind of fun, right? This is lemon lime twist, yeah. Or it could be granny apple green or Stampin' Up colors. Either way, I just thought it was fun and quirky and exactly what I needed today. Whoops. Hang on, we've got cards spinning around with baker's twine all over them. We're going to use another mini glue dot with this little flower, and we're going to put it right here. And there we go. What do you guys think? Pretty easy card, right? I thought it was. I love, love, love these edgelets. And then, of course, the beautiful Promenade stamp set. Oh, that is just gorgeous. So there we go. Here's our Case the Catalog card. And you'll find the beautiful Promenade bundle right here. It shows you the stamp set and all the accessories. So if you'd like to get your hands on any of these items, I would love to earn your business. You can click right up here. That'll take you right to my blog where you'll find an online ordering button in the right column. Also, for this particular blog post, if you just scroll down the page, you're going to find a product list with pictures of all the products that I use. It'll have the BRUSHO in it. It'll have the ink colors and cardstock and the stamp sets. You'll find all of those items in a product list on when you scroll down my blog. When you click on one of those, it'll take you right to my online store where you can put in an order if you need to order anything. I always appreciate your orders. Don't forget to click down here on my subscribe button. You want to subscribe to me on YouTube. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. And I just need to say a big thank you for taking a little time out of your day to spend it with me. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.